Hey, everybody, it's Greg again. It's another edition of Unbreakable podcast. It is Saturday, January 20th, and this is a big day. Hat, I'm getting ready for the Eagles. Look at me. Look at me. I'm all geared up. Kelly Green, I'm all fired up too. I'm ready to go, ready to talk Eagles. But before I do, I got to let you know this here little thing that I wrote is back in print. There it is. It's called An Unbreakable Spirit, and it's by memoir. And it's about life with brittle boats. And I think it's pretty good. And it was out, it came out a few years ago when I had it print, but it's back. It is back, baby. And you could pick up a copy on Amazon or Barnes and Noble or any any fine store that carries fine books. So there I am, all the way from childhood to old man. I wrote this because this is really the only first person account of what it's like to live with brittle bones. Because the reason is because most people who have the severity of brittle bones that I have, which the fancy term is osteogenesis imperfecta. Most people don't live that long. The shelf life is like 25 years, maybe at the max. And here I am, 68. What the hell? So I thought it'd be a good thing to write down my thoughts, how I got this far. And because when I was growing up, in the late 50s, 60s, even into the 70s, there was no internet. There was no way to research, to find other people with OI, to just do some research and find out what is this thing? What's causing it? And what's the future going to be? So I wanted to write this so that the next generation, people who come after me, who have brittle bones, will have the resource. They can look this up, they can get a copy, and they can read about not only what it's like to live with brittle bones, but live a full life and a relatively happy and healthy life too. I mean, here I am, right? I'm 68 and I'm happy and I'm relatively healthy. And things always could be worse, right? And I'm on the podcast and I'm spreading love and joy and hope. So, and I'm rooting for our Eagles. So, if anybody needs a little cheering up in your life, a little inspiration, needs a little hope, needs a good laugh, because I think there are a lot of funny moments in the book. Yeah, there's just a lot of moments where you're going to need the Kleenex box handy. But I think, especially now in this dark time in our world, we need stories like this. We need stories of hope. And there it is. So I hope you'll pick up a copy. I hope you'll tell your friends to pick up a copy, and word will go around, and word will go around, and blah, blah, blah. And who knows, right? Who knows what can happen? So there it is. Unbreakable Spirit. Gregory Smith. That's me. The other literary news is I finished my short story collection, but I think instead of trying to get the entire collection published, what I'm doing is I'm sending out individual stories. I wrote 30 stories. I'm sending out individual stories to magazines so that not only can I make a few bucks, because when they print, obviously, when they publish the article, the story, whatever, they pay you. So not only to make a little of this, but every time a story gets published, it's a it's a notch on the old resume. You know? So that when I do go to try to get the full collection published and published, which I want to do, um, I have success to show, hey, they published this story, they did this story, this one, this one, this one. So that's what I'm trying to do. And final bit of news before we talk e-goals. I started writing an ebook this week. And I don't know how long it's going to take. I'm just going to keep writing until I'm more set. And I'm going to keep it a little surprise until it's done. Because who knows if it's going to be done. That's the thing about working on something new. You think about all the work it does. It is a lot of work. And so, do I really want to do this? Do I really want to put myself through this for the next 6 months to a year? Do I really want to struggle with this? And usually the answer is yes. If you say yes and you can't wait to get the writing every day, that's the answer. But if you say no, it's too much work, blah blah blah, that's the answer right there. Because it goes with writing. I think this particular book that I'm going to work on right now is worth writing. So it's great. It gives me a project for the next 6 months to a year to accomplish. And even though it's hard to write, it's very hard. It's a very satisfying feeling when you're doing it. And afterwards, something to be proud of and something to leave for not only people to read now, but but no longer here. So we'll see how it's keep your fingers crossed for me. You can't cross it. There. Let's talk Eagles, huh? Oh, and I got a couple of thoughts on that Bills Chiefs game to come up tomorrow. Well, tomorrow's and this is it. This is it. This is the big one. Win this game, go to the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl. My feelings haven't changed the whole freaking week. I think the Eagles are going to win, and I think they're going to win big. But, part of me is saying, it's going to be a close game because we've played Washington twice. It's 1-1. NFC rivals always play tight games. And why should this be different? Well, I just think the Eagles are a mission. They're the more experienced team. They're the bigger team. Have you noticed that? The Eagles have a massive offensive line. A lot of people aren't talking about that. They're talking about Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, and rightfully so. And the defense. But nobody really talks about the offensive line. The offensive line is the best, if not one of the best, in football. And everything gears around the offensive line. If you're going to win a championship, you got to have good play in the trenches. Offensive line, defensive line. And the Eagles do. Offensive line, that's why Saquon Barkley has had the great year that he's had. It's the perfect storm. You've got a great running back in his prime, motivated after the Giants didn't want to re-sign him. And you've got an offensive line that is at its peak, motivated, and it's a perfect storm. Offensive line, they physically, just forget about the experience. Physically, they're so much bigger than the Washington defensive line. Don't forget, as I've been saying all week, Washington is 20th in the NFL against the run. The Rams were 8th. And you saw what Barkley and the Bills did against the Rams. Barkley rushed for 200 yards. Well, if Barkley can do that against the Rams, who have a better defense, why can't he do that against the Commanders? Right? And don't forget, the first game that they played, Washington kind of held Barkley in check the first half, but then he broke through into 72 touchdowns, ran crazy over 100 yards just in the second half alone. And this is Barkley's MO. Second half, he has most of his yards in the second half. He wears you down. He wears you down. He may get 2 yards here, 5 yards here, 4 yards here. Bang, 70. You just never know when he's going to pop through the line. And the thing of it is, you could put 8 guys in the box. You could put 9 guys in the box. For all it matters to me, you could put 20 guys in the box. I don't care. If that offensive line opens the holes and Barkley works through there, he's gone because you put all your guys in the box. There's nobody back there to catch him. You bring your safeties up, your secondary up. Who's going to be back there to stop him? And if he gets ahead of you, you're not going to run him. So Washington could do that. I've heard different theories about what Washington's going to do to him. Are they going to sell out and try to stop Barkley and allow Jalen Hurts, who still has today, he's playing, but he's going to play with a brace. Make Jalen Hurts beat you through the air. That's one theory. The other theory is Barkley's going to get his, right? Just say he doesn't go crazy. Let him get his. Meanwhile, you contain everybody else. You contain Jalen Hurts from running. You shut down the receivers, Smith and Brown, and got him. So I don't know how Washington's going to play it. To me, Barkley's going to get his to that look. As I said, if you put 8, 9 men in the box, he can still get his because he is a home run threat anytime, anywhere on the field. He could take it to the house. So, how do you play the Eagles? That's the problem. They have so many weapons and they're so big up front that you almost have to hope the Eagles beat themselves. And that's another key, like it is for every football game, turnovers. Eagles don't commit to turnovers. Limit the turnovers. You don't want to turn the ball over on your side of the field and give Washington a short field to score. And you don't want to turn the ball over when you're taking it in to Washington's goal line. When you're in the red zone, you score touchdowns. If you have to kick field goals, fine, but score touchdowns. The good thing about Nick Sirianni as a coach, he does take chances. He goes for 4th down. Yeah, so with this Eagles too, you gotta use Barkley. Last week, there were certain instances where they weren't using Barkley. Remember that play that Jalen Hurts, they sacked him in the end zone for the safety? First of all, you don't call a pass play down your side of the goal line. You use Barkley to run it out of there. And not only could you get the first down and him running it away from the goal line, he might break one and go 95. You just don't know. Plus, Jalen Hurts was hurt. He hurt his knee. Now, how's he supposed to scramble out of that Indian zone? No wonder he got safety, sacked for safety. So, don't get cute. Don't get fancy. When it's time to use Saquon Barkley, you use them. Don't get here on the wall. Now, the thing is, the weather's going to be trend tomorrow here in Philadelphia than it was next week. No snow, no extreme cold. The winds are supposed to be okay. It's actually supposed to be pretty nice. They have 41 degrees, but partly sunny. Okay, so you're not going to have to worry about the snow, anything. And just use Barkley. This is why you got sick. This is why you brought him to the team for big, gigantic football games, like the one that's going to come tomorrow, except for anything. I also think that AJ Brown's gonna have a big game. Why? Because he hasn't had a big game time. He's due, and don't forget, I reminded you this thing the day. When the Pro Bowl uh, nominations when that came out a few weeks ago, Terry McLaurin, who's a good wide receiver for Washington, he made it. AJ Brown did not at the time, although he's in there now, filling in for somebody else. Well, at the time, Terry McLaurin made the Pro Bowl. Now, there might be something going on between he and AJ Brown. I don't know. But I saw it. Terry McLaurin came online on social media and was mocking AJ Brown. Ha ha, I made it, you didn't. Well, I don't think AJ Brown's going to forget that, especially since Terry McLaurin is going to be at the game. He's right there, across the side. I also think Devontae Smith's going to have a good game. Why? Because if he would have caught that wide open pass at the end of the game a few weeks ago down in Washington, the Eagles would have run the clock and would have beaten the Commanders. Instead, he dropped an easy pass. Commanders got the ball back. They marched down the field, scored a touchdown, and beat the Eagles. I think Smith is going to wake up for that, and would surprise me if he had a good game too. I just think it's the Eagles' time. I think it's their time. After they collapsed last year, I think it's their time to shine and get back to the Super Bowl. And I think it's going to happen. And although at first I thought it was going to be a close game, and I originally said something 27-13 Eagles, I wouldn't be surprised if the Eagles got up on them. Jaden Daniels, he's good, but he's a rookie. He's never been in this kind of a game before. Yeah, the Lions game last week was a big game, and he's smart, but he's never been in the NFC Championship game before. How's he going to react? I just think with the Eagles' defense being the way it is, the fact that they did limit Daniels in the first game. True, in the second game, he threw 5 touchdown passes. You got to give him credit. He's good, rookie or not. But it wasn't the NFC Championship game, so I just think the Eagles are going to continue. You're not going to shut him down totally, but continue. Now, on their side of the ball, I do think that Zach Ertz, an old friend Zach Ertz, is going to have a good game. He has scored touchdowns the last 2 games against the Eagles, and I think he's going to get his tomorrow. I think coming back to the late, I think he's going to be targeted, and I think Zach Ertz is going to catch 4 or 5 passes, and I wouldn't be surprised if he scores a touchdown too. But I just think the Eagles are going to win this game 38-17. I just think it's going to snowball and snowball and snowball. Eagles are going to feed on the frenzy of the crowd. The crowd is going to go absolutely nuts down there. And the Commanders haven't heard. And the other thing, some stupid Washington fans defiled the Rocky statue again. Did you see that? They dressed Rocky up in Washington Commanders / Redskins gear. Well, these teams are so stupid. And these fans, these visiting fans are so stupid. Don't they know what happened before? I mean, look what happened, right? Eagles defeated the Vikings back in 2017. Vikings fans came into Philadelphia, did the same freaking thing, defiled, desecrated our Rocky statue, and they paid the price. And then the same thing happened a few years ago. 49er fans came from they paid the price too. So you would think that these fans would, you would think they would learn their lesson, but no. So now it's Washington's turn. It is Washington's turn to pay the freaking price. So, uh, I just feel very strongly now. Here's the thing. We've been let down before, fall off the field. Oh, we've been let down. And you know it. I mean, think about the Eagles' history. They lost that big game, NFC Championship game to Tampa Bay. What was it, 2001 or so? And everybody was saying, oh, Tampa Bay never wins up north when the temperature is below 40 degrees. Eagles was the very last game at Veterans Stadium before they tore it. This game's in the bag. I thought it was too. And Tampa Bay ended up winning. I was like a dagger to my heart. And then you had the Eagles they played Carolina. You remember this? In an NFC Championship game in the early 2000s. Everybody thought Eagles were going to win. Carolina beat. And we've had other games in sports history. The Phillies, back in 2011, win over 100 games. And they get knocked out of the playoffs by the St. Louis Cardinals in 5 games. When the Sixers lose just a couple of years ago to the Celtics, game 6, they could have put that series away. And they did it. The Celtics won, came back and won game 6, and then went up to Boston and just crushed the 76ers in game 7. It's happened to the Flyers. It's happened to every single one of our sports teams here in Tampa. Heartbreaking losses that we thought would never, ever occur. But they did. So anything is possible. But I love the Eagles tomorrow. And I say, when you're going to the game tomorrow, if you're going, enjoy, have fun, beautiful day. You're out with 60,000 of your friends. We all have a common goal. And as I said, isn't it great to have one of your teams in a championship game? The community comes together. It doesn't matter what color you are, what race, what religion, what kind of politics you have. Everybody comes together. And it's one goal. Go Eagles. Get to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl. And nothing lasts forever. So if you go to the game tomorrow, savor and enjoy. If you're watching on TV, or I want to do, either at home or in a bar or wherever, savor, especially if it's a victory, because you just don't know when this will happen again. Hopefully, it's an annual thing, like the Chiefs had, or like the Patriots used to have every year. They'd be in the championship game or the Super Bowl. So we can hope that it's going to be something that occurs every year. We're just not sure of it, We don't know. We don't know. So enjoy. Bills and Chiefs. I've been going back and forth on this game all week long. I can't come up with a clear-cut winner because they both have their good points and bad points. The Bills are bigger. They've got great offensive line to protect Josh Allen. I would say they're definitely the hungrier team, the younger team. Josh Allen's been playing great. He may be the MVP if it isn't Saquon Barkley or Lamar Jackson. The Bills are due. They're due to get back to the Super Bowl. And the Bills do have a way of beating the Chiefs. They beat them this year. So it's possible. And the Bills are getting 2 points. But the Chiefs are the Chiefs. In order to beat the best, no. In order to be the best, you've got to beat the best. And the old saying, in order to kill the snake, you got to chop its head, right? it's not going to be easy for the Bulls because hey, you're playing in Kansas City, you're playing against their what they call Chiefs Kingdom. And well, let's face it, like I said before, they're always well. The Chiefs tend to get the calls in Kansas City. Even Patrick Mahomes, nobody can touch him. Don't touch him. Don't touch him. You might as well like wrap, bubble wrap around the guy, you know? Don't touch him. So, it's going to be tough. The Chiefs know what it takes to win, especially Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce. They know what it takes. They got the Taylor Swift effect there. So all week long, I said, rather than pick a winner, I like a couple of props. I like Travis Kelce to go over his yards, over 69.5, because Travis Kelce turns it up a notch in the playoffs. Travis Kelce is tied with the great Jerry Reese for all-time 100-yard receiving games in the playoffs. Now, don't you think Travis Kelce would love to have that record with 2 zone? And I'm not saying Travis Kelce is going to have more playoff games to try to get that record. But you just never know. What if Travis Kelce decides to retire after this season? Or what if he gets hurt and never plays football again, right? When you can get it, get it. So all I'm saying is that Travis Kelce over. I think I would take that. The other thing I would take is this Buffalo tight end, Kincaid. The line is cheaper. It is 33, 35. Take that for the over. The reason being is not only is Kincaid one of Josh Allen's main targets, the Chiefs suck against opposing tight ends. Not good. So, Kincaid, Kelce, put them together. You have a nice thing fun. If you want to add a third leg, maybe take Josh Allen and rush you, because Josh Allen is going to run. He has saved himself. He even said it. He has saved himself all season from this moment to run in the playoffs. But I've been thinking about it, and the more I think about it, if I had to pick a winner, I would take Buffalo. Why? There comes a time where all good things must end. And the Chiefs have had an amazing run. They're going for 3 Super Bowls in a row. It's never been done before. They've had a great run. But I just have a feeling that the run is coming to an end. And Buffalo is the kind of team to do it, because Buffalo knows what it takes to beat Kansas City. They have a superstar quarterback in Josh Allen. If you don't have a star quarterback in the NFL, you are out of luck, buddy. But think about the teams who are still in the tournament. Jaden Daniels, Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and as of last week, Lamar Jackson. What do they all have in common? Great quarterbacks. So you got to have a really good quarterback and really go far in the NFL. And the teams that are still in the tournament have good quarterbacks. So Buffalo knows what it takes to beat Kansas City. They've got Josh Allen. They just have this they have something on their side. It's time, Buffalo. It's time to get to the Super Bowl. It's time. All these Bills Mafia, they just like Eagles fans. They've been let down so many times in the past. Now it's time for Buffalo to kick that door in and get back to the Super Bowl again. And put the Chiefs to bed. Goodbye, Chiefs. Good night. Good night, Chiefs. And that's that. Buffalo, Philadelphia Super Bowl. That's what I'm predicting. That would be a hell of a Super Bowl tip, because Eagles defense against Josh Allen. Bill's Mafia against Evil Good, right? The two, to me, the two best, most passionate fan bases in the whole freaking. And I just think it would be a great Super Bowl. And I think it's going to happen. So whatever happens, enjoy the games tomorrow. I'll be back on Monday. We're going to review the whole freaking thing. And we're going to talk about whatever happened over the weekend, right? But mostly football. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So, peace and love, everybody. Enjoy the games. Go Eagles. And don't forget, if you get a chance to pick up this little page turner here, please do. And if you do, let me know if you like it or not, okay? And thanks very much. Thank you very much. Everybody have a great day. Go Eagles. And I'll see you on Monday. Take care. Bye.